Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Player Pro Show. I'm your host, Player Pro himself. Okay, now let's get into today's topic. Eviction notice, and what does that mean for us? Well, I have a few videos to show y'all today. So without further ado, let's get into the show.
How you doing? I was talking to one of my friends. He is an attorney and owns a successful practice, and he said that he's having to hire a whole bunch of new lawyers because his firm is filing thousands, not hundreds, thousands of eviction notices and foreclosure notices per week in the state of Georgia and 3 other states. Did y'all hear me? Thousands. Like, real talk, it's really looking scary like 2008, 2009. And what I want to know is, where are these people going to go stay? Like, for real, why is this not what's being discussed on the news every night? Like, we have a really bad housing crisis in this country. And, you know, I've talked and said all this stuff about BlackRock and all these people buying up these houses to rent. Maybe there's going to be some big, huge government contract for Section 8 expansion.
Alright, people. Let's hop right into it. Who do y'all think she's talking about? She said Georgia and 2 other states. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Georgia not predominantly African Americans? And she said Section 8. And Section 8 is biggest with elderly and single mothers. Y'all think it's a game out here. It's really not a game. They are not playing. Matter of fact, let me show y'all this article. Okay, you see this article? This article says JP Morgan is about to spend $1 billion on hundreds of rental homes across the U.S. on the way to becoming a mega landlord. JP Morgan and Haven Realty Capital entered into a joint venture agreement on November 15th. That was last year. The companies plan to acquire up to $1 billion and build to rent properties starting in Atlanta. Open y'all eyes. Put down the Facebook. Turn off the reality shows. Turn off the nonsense that you hear on the radio, because it's really not a game out here. And as a matter of fact, I got a video for you that ties right into what I'm saying. Let's get into it.
So we back to winter being here. We're back to Zaddy leaving Black women all alone. I've got something to share with you guys, but before we share that, just to give you a little bit of the framework, because what we're seeing now is Zaddy pulling the rug out from under the collective of Black women. And I still don't know if Black women understand actually what's happening to them. We've seen now more and more where Black women are getting evicted, and they're getting evicted with their children. And one of the things that's happening is a lot of Black women that are finding themselves in shelters. They're finding themselves on the street. They're finding themselves living in storage units or living in their cars or vans, sometimes with children, sometimes without. Even sometimes they are working. Not all of them are unemployed. But we're also seeing an uptick of Black female homelessness. But a lot of times the women that are finding themselves in shelters and finding themselves in these situations actually have something very interesting. They have Section 8 vouchers. And you would think, well, if they've got a Section 8 voucher, why are they homeless? Why are they not living in some place that is suitable for them to live? And what's going on right now is that there are a lot of landlords, there are a lot of property owners, there are a lot of real estate owners and agencies that are now saying all across in different cities of the United States are saying that they no longer accept Section 8 vouchers because of the reputation of the people who generally hold Section 8 vouchers, and saying that these people are very destructive to the properties and they leave them any kind of way. They, through negligence and through, being reckless in the rental space, they'll tear it up. They'll tear up the appliances, the walls, the floor. They'll have infestations of vermin and roaches and things of that nature that the landlord has to pay for consistently. And then it's difficult to get them out of the property after they're in the property. It's a long, expensive endeavor to evict people.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what is it going to take for us to realize that we are better together than we are apart? They are intentionally trying to separate us, keep us apart. And it's working. The men are grabbing passports and leaving the country because, from what I understand, the women are claiming they're strong and independent and they don't need a man. It's going to have to stop. If we don't get it together and find a way, find some kind of common ground and find a way to come together, there won't be a community to save. And some people say that I'm hating on black women. No, I'm not. This is dope. What she said is all facts. And I also have another video to tie into what she was saying, if you don't believe what I'm saying. All right, let's go.
Housing security in the U.S. since the pandemic is on track to become a crisis, and black women are being affected the most by it. According to Eviction Lab, there were more than 434,000 evictions last year. So for some context to this, the eviction moratorium was in place for a large portion of the year, but the number of renters at risk of eviction as of January spiked to about 3 million and counting. And of those, black women have the highest average of eviction filed against them at 6.2%, compared to white women at 3.4%. Now that equates to 1 in 4 black renters living in a place where black eviction filing rates were almost double than that of their white counterparts.
Okay, all I gotta say is, open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen, before it's too late. All right, that is it for this episode of the Player Pro Show. We are going to sign off. Until next episode, I'll see you there.